Yo, what's up guys, Rishabh here and you're watching Gadgets now. In this video, I will try to explain why I feel the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus for that matter is the bare minimum standard of iPhone to get in 2020. Let's get started. So guys, the iPhone 7 was launched back in September 2016, so this phone is now almost 40 months old, but still, to be honest, this is holding up well enough. The only disappointment in this phone has to be its battery life in my opinion, which I will talk about in a minute, but let's first start with the performance, which is what makes this phone so compelling in 2020. So, in refurb or second-hand markets, this phone can be easily bought for as less as 13,000-14,000 rupees or just under $200. And for that less money, this phone still performs like a champ. Of course, this is not as powerful or power efficient as the Snapdragon 855 Plus or A13 Bionic, but still, instead of being a 3-year-old chip, and also for what this thing cost, it can easily give the budget phones at a similar price a run for its money. Like, I played PUBG on this phone for about an hour straight, and while it did make the back a little too warm to the touch, it ran without any sort of issues. No frame drops, nothing. I could scope, look around without any stutters whatsoever. This just says how powerful and capable this chip is, even in 2020. This is truly amazing to see guys, as the iPhone 7 as I said sports a now 3-year-old processor, the A10 Fusion chip, with just 2 gigs of RAM. And talking about the RAM, I was surprised to see that this phone could keep 6 to 7 apps open in the background with ease. Although yeah, you should keep in mind that if you push this phone too hard, the 2 gigs of RAM might be a problem. Anyways, now just like my other iPhone videos, if you follow the channel, you know that this is where I touch upon the software, as that is what makes these older iPhones perform comparatively well in spite of their age. Like iOS 13 is some kind of wicked magic guys. It has made the iPhone 7 still feel fresh and fast, and I just can't stop appreciating Apple for it. Currently, the iPhone 7 is running on iOS 13.3.1 as you can see, and it runs absolutely fine on this phone. Now considering Apple's past record, this phone should most definitely get the iOS 14 update and maybe even iOS 15, which is just icing on the cake. So software support shouldn't be a trouble even for the next 2 years. And of course with iOS 13, this phone too got the dark mode, which is nice to see instead of it not having an AMOLED panel, but whatever. The drawback here has to be that we don't get the night mode update in camera or even the portrait mode option that Apple somehow managed to make it work on 10R, which too had a single lens, but hey, Apple is Apple. Like, they didn't even push the low light mode to the iPhone 10, which costed $1,000. So yeah. Alright, let's talk about the battery life guys, and I have to say it is disappointing. Ending the day on a single charge is something I was never able to achieve, no matter how much I tried not killing it. My iPhone 7 currently has a battery health of 77%, but considering the fact that most people will only have to get a used iPhone 7, let's just assume that it would have gone through some wear and tear. So yeah, great battery life isn't something you should expect while getting one. You do get low power mode, but again, didn't turn out to be of much help. Alright, to the front we have a 4.7-inch IPS LCD screen with just about 720p resolution, which totals up to a PPA of 326. Now if you ignore the specs and simply look at the display, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Yeah, the PPI might be a disappointment if you look too closely, but I personally never had any sort of issues with the display. The color, saturation and brightness, everything was fine. Now in case you are coming from a phone having an AMOLED panel, you might notice the not so inky blacks and also not so saturated colors, but as I already said, I didn't have any troubles using it. Well, there's not much to talk about the design. It almost looks like the 6 and the 6S, except the different positioning of the antennas and a bigger camera bump. This here is a rose gold color, but you also get 3 other color options to choose from. While I don't have any particular issue with the design, I would just say that you get a case because this phone is slippery as hell. As you can see, it slips out of my hand very easily, so yeah, get a case guys. Alright, let's now talk cameras. We have a 12 megapixel primary camera and a 7 megapixel front facing camera. The iPhone 7 is actually capable of taking some decently good shots, provided there's ample amount of light available. If not, then well, without any sort of night mode available, the photos are as grainy as anything and are too soft looking too. Now here are some samples for you. Have a look and you be the judge. Now as far as video goes, this phone can shoot 4K at 30 FPS and they come out great, although with a little lack of dynamic range. Alright, let's now get into the burn points. And firstly, the fingerprint scanner here is still incredibly fast and is one of the best physical scanners out there. The speakers, although stereo, are extremely disappointing guys. They're too quiet for my liking and I always felt that the volume was lacking instead of it being full. So yeah, speaker is very bad on this phone. We do get IP67 rating, meaning water and dust resistance. While shooting videos, the audio gets recorded only in mono form, unlike the newer iPhones which record in stereo. If you are someone who needs a lot of storage, then please guys don't get the 32 gigs variant, you'll fill it up in no time. The vibration motor is very satisfying, I simply love the Taptic engine in here. And finally, RIP headphone jack. It's been a long way without you my friend. Alright guys, time to answer the question. Should you buy the iPhone 7 in 2020? The answer to this question lies in the price you get it for. If you find iPhone 7 somewhere under $200, then in my opinion, it is worth it. But if it costs more than $200, then there are much better options available out there. Now, if you want just an iPhone, then I would personally suggest that you put in some extra cash and get the iPhone 8 instead, as it has a base storage of 64GB, better cameras, newer chip inside, wireless charging, and it being comparatively future-proof too. But if you're too tight on budget, then sure, I don't think the 7 would disappoint you, unless you're too keen on having a great camera smartphone. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up the video. What do you guys think about the iPhone 7 in 2020? Leave a comment down below, and if you like the video, drop a like too and subscribe for more such content. My name is Rishabh, you've been watching Gadgets Now. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.